Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. The qualifiers for challenges begin in about a month's time at the start of January, but one of the teams seems to be getting more and more likely to be occurring, especially because ShahZaM has not only leaked this situation himself, but also other teams and players in the region in Europe right now have talked about where ShahZaM is going to be ending up. Hit the like button if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that one. Plenty to discuss. Firstly, this from Tarek. Today is going to be the Lil Bro Cup that's going on, and this is another one of the teams here. So team at BCJ with Jorgemo, Nismo, Aaron and Curry, and then team Rossi with Corey, GMT, Brax and Sick. So pretty cool stuff. That Sick is making his grand return to competitive play. It's obviously good to see because he was such a great player for Sentinels for so long, and then had his issues, stepped away, dealing with his mental health and stuff. And now the last few months have been wondering, is Sick back in business? How's he feeling? Could he step back into the starting team? And I think he's got a good spot for him there over on the bench of the Sentinels, so he can keep focusing on himself and all that. But of course, being on the bench of Sentinels doesn't really get to play in tier 2 tournaments because you can't really have an academy team like that, it seems, as it stands. So yeah, he'll be playing tournaments like this, will be his practice and ranked and stuff. But yeah, kind of tricky, right? Because if you've got a substitute who doesn't really play any matches on a competitive basis regularly, then is that actually the best player to bring in? Or is the best player to bring in someone who's actually competing in the challenger circuit, like let's say a dapr, for example. Let's say dapr competes in tier 2 and Sick doesn't, then who's actually the better sub in theory, who's like more match ready in that sense. Always an interesting one, the fact that these subs don't seem to be allowed to play tier 2 competition, but yeah, I guess we'll see how it develops over time. And dapr of course isn't going to be on Sentinels anyway, he's more than likely going to be on G2, and we'll see that in a second. Quick update on some of the kind of nerfs and buffs that have been happening, because a lot has been changing, and they of course made some very small tweaks to many agents over the past day or so, so we'll see how that actually plays out in reality. Many are expecting though that yeah, the chamber nerf is probably going to get rid of him from being the dominant force in the meta, but I guess we'll have to stay tuned for whether that's the case. These are the groups also for the Red Bull home grounds, so obviously pretty stacked groups here. We've got Liquid, we've got 100 Thieves in Group B, Vitality, Cloud9, Focus Crew over there in Group A as well, so pretty exciting stuff. That's going to be a big tournament. And speaking of this tournament, the Cloud9 guys are already in the UK for this one, so pretty interesting stuff. They flew out here a few days early. They're now in London at some sort of Red Bull boot camp type setup they've got going on. So Vanity says in the UK now with Yay, Leaf, zyppan, and I suppose the rest of the guys as well. So yeah, they're getting ready to go. And yeah, even as Zelsis says here, scuffed EU Red Bull stream. So they're in the studio, and we'll see in a second a few very interesting clips from this particular broadcast. Now, yes, Yay goes on to say in London now for the Red Bull tourney. The tourney's up in Manchester, but nonetheless pretty cool that Cloud9 are out here already. So they're taking this pretty seriously, and it'll be good to see how they get on here, because we saw a few days ago that online tournament that was held that Na'Vi managed to win. They are considered to be one of the potential S-tier teams for the season. Cloud9 theoretically in a similar boat as well, but of course the meta potentially changing soon for the upcoming season. Yay might be back on the Jet or whatever, but regardless, he's going to be pretty good. Cryo on the Jet as well, I'm sure. It's going to be no slouch either, if indeed that is the meta that recurs. And even Vanity I thought was pretty funny. First EU DM, maybe I'm the GOAT of FPS, talking about actually here about the skill-based matchmaking, because it's definitely a thing. As he says, he goes 40-2 right here in this deathmatch, and he says, never in my life have I said SBMM this hard. These people were running into walls. So he tunes into his new account for the first time, logs into Valorant, and yeah, he just played absolute burgers on the map. So yeah, not really a massive surprise, but still interesting to see nonetheless that the skill-based matchmaking is just that strong even in the deathmatching. Makes sense, I suppose, to make skill-based matchmaking exist in deathmatch, but yeah, still, Vanity had his way with the competition. Now, let's talk about potential big competition for these tier 1 teams in the future, depending on how Ascension goes this year, could well be ShahZaM. So ShahZaM said this a couple of days ago now. Sorry guys, been out of town filming some pretty exciting stuff. Gonna try stream from here, but I'll be back on Tuesday. So where is he, right? Where's he filming something? Is it some sort of announcement? And it turns out it almost certainly is. So last night this was spotted here. So ShahZaM turns on the stream and doesn't do an especially good job of hiding the background. Kind of funny really. So yeah, we can see he's done a green screen to try and prevent people seeing what's in the back, but it's quite obvious where he is. So we can see this very distinctive architecture in the background, and people kind of thought maybe this is G2, so they looked into it and it turned out to be relatively obvious that indeed this is exactly what's going on. So you look at this video here with Carlos giving a tour of the G2 esports office in Berlin, and we can see this exact piece of architecture. So I mean, yeah, presumably ShahZaM sitting over here somewhere. So yeah, very distinctive, exactly the same as what's in the back of kind of ShahZaM's thing here. There's even another picture which was being shared, which was this one with Mixwell in seemingly a very similar particular spot where you can also see the very distinctive architecture in the background. So, and of course, mixwell, we've got the G2 logo here. He was on G2. So this is the case. Like, he talked about this a little bit on stream. And also there was a clip that came up from Zelsis' stream where he says, hey, I'm trying to get Shaz in for our 5-man. And he's like, oh yeah, he's in EU right now, but we can't say exactly why.
I'm 5 stack. 5 stack. 5 stack. What's up, Perk? Am I in EU? Yeah. No. You gotta add me.
What?
Wait, add me, dude. I'm trying to get Shaz.
How is he there? He's at 40.
What?
Wait, what?
It's for our 5 stack. He's in Europe. But we're not gonna say why he's in Europe.
5 stack? Well, how much elo are we gonna get? It's on 6 for the 9 months.
EU 03.
What? This guy's ulting? Go! Kaylee was framed. Oh my god, the legend
Settings,
himself.
display, brightness, auto lock, never. Wait. Okay, hold up. Settings.
Nice. Bro, what's this guy doing, man? No way, dude. There's kids outside, dude. They're waving. No way. There's kids outside waving. No way, dude. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Can we close the blinds or something? No. Wait a second. No way, bro. They're... Oh my god. What?
Let's go with the...
Bro, they're taking pictures.
Now.
Yo, what the f? I'm gonna hide. Like, I'm hiding behind my monitor, yo. Bro, how'd they find me in Poland? Wait, that's actually crazy. I don't think I've ever been IRL streams. Yeah, bro, they're just standing there. I feel weird. I feel like an animal at the zoo. Huh? Yo, I wish they took out Breeze and Icebox. I feel like those are the 2 worst maps. I feel like Bind actually works. Like, you can do different looks and different comps and stuff. But Breeze and Icebox are like the same boring constantly.
Will they try the same old tricks?
At least when it comes to like higher level. Fracture's not ass, bro. Fracture's a pretty good map. Fracture's pretty cool. Bind is pretty cool too. Icebox is boring, bro. Just take long B, sage wall, plant. They tried to change it, it plays the same way. Nobody even uses mid because it's horrible. You just go into everyone. I don't even understand what makes Bind bad and like what people think Bind is bad. Like, Bind could definitely use some changes, but it's not a bad map.
So definitely intrigued your thoughts on this, right? It's kind of funny how, like, look, everyone really knows this is going to be happening, but he hasn't really attempted to hide it in any way at all. So it's relatively clear and obvious that this is exactly what is going to occur. So we'll see how it goes. Of course, ShahZaM, dapr, theoretically with Whippy, Penny, and also Oxy is meant to be the team of 5. So probably filming some announcements right now. But yeah, obviously the other guys also know that he's out there. It's not a secret that he's in Europe right now and in Berlin for the announcement for G2 going forward, I suppose. So we'll see how that actually works out. He also gave his thoughts there on some of the map rotations that are coming through, and look, we'll see how this goes, because of course Bind's gone, Breeze gone, Split coming back in. The 6 maps is quite interesting, but yeah, should they have got rid of Bind, should they have got rid of Breeze? ShahZaM has his thoughts on it. Interesting to hear his perspective there, right, that he wants Icebox gone instead of Bind, and says that yeah, Breeze should go, but Bind he reckons should stay. So it's interesting because I think like the pro player perception has changed quite a lot over the last several months, where Bind was almost unanimously hated by a lot of the pros, it felt like, and then now it's like, actually no, Bind isn't too bad, and maybe Icebox is the one to go. It's the same in CS and stuff really, where, you know, certain players over time, they love Dust 2, then they hate Dust 2, they love Nuke, then they hate Nuke, and it's always how it goes. So maybe Bind in a similar way, but it is officially gone, and Icebox is officially remaining. Just to mention this as well before we close out the video here on VLR, because VLR have introduced a rating system, so kind of like how it works on HLTV, but different websites have their own ideas on how this should be, because like basically they take kills per round, they take other statistics, they multiply them all together, they add them, they divide them by a certain number, and it gives you a reasonable representation of how well the player played in the map. Now, there's actually some big differences here between the Spikes algorithm and VLR's algorithm for certain things. So always kind of tough to see. You guys can see here some big differences in Xiao's rating, a 1.06 for Xiao compared to a 1.17 on VLR. So depends how it considers certain aspects of their play. But yeah, I guess we'll have to stay tuned for this over time, because I guess they've been working on this behind the scenes to come up with a decent algorithm for, well, giving a rating, and probably one that's going to have to be developed further going forwards from all fronts, so it actually makes sense to everyone. But very much interested in your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.